Greetings, YouTube. As some of you may know, there was recently a Harper's Open letter printed, and it was about how cancel culture is undermining free speech and free thought in the world at large, and a whole bunch of very powerful, important people signed on to it in a major magazine to complain about how cancel culture is wiping out their ability to have a soapbox so that the world can hear their very important opinions, mostly about oppressing trans people, because that's what they want to do. You see, here's the thing. You have freedom of expression. You don't have freedom from consequences, and you are not guaranteed an audience. And cancel culture used to be called consequences. Just like content advisory is now called trigger warnings. It's the same thing. It has a different name. That's it. Cancel culture is just the practice of people being tired of your bullshit and saying they don't want to do anything with you anymore. They don't want to read your books. They don't want to listen to your opinions. They just want you to go away. They are brushing you into the dustbin of history. That's always happened. It's just in today's world, in the 21st century, with social media being what it is, this cycle is much more rapid, and it can spread much faster. So if you metaphorically step on your own dick, don't be shocked that within 24 hours, you are now a pariah. I mean, you see, all the really important, very powerful, wealthy, famous elites that signed that letter don't want that to happen. They want that soapbox glued to their feet so that they can stand there and they can spout any kind of vile, socially conservative bullshit that they want forever and never be held accountable, because that's the part they don't like. And the biggest bigot on that list that I can think of was J.K. Rowling, who's shown herself to be an unrepentant transphobe. She is a bigot. Out and out. A bigot. And she doesn't want to be swept into the dustbin of history. Now, if you're a famous bigot, I can understand that. You're used to having every word you say listened to. You're used to having every word you say be considered gospel. Now, she could keep rewriting the Harry Potter universe for as long as she wants to make up for the fact that the series, as it was originally written, completely ignored gay people and was incredibly misogynistic and completely ignored everyone that wasn't white. So, yeah. She can keep rewriting her own universe, I guess, if she wants to, trying to make it relevant in a world that has realized that, now that we're not children, we're noticing all of the flaws in this book. But you don't get to do that in the real world. And that's what she wants to do. She wants to be able to rewrite the world to suit her view, which is that trans women aren't women. And she is just as bad as the worst masculine male misogynist in the world at large. She is just as bad as them, because she has distilled the entire essence of what it is to be a woman to her vagina. That the only thing a woman is her vagina. And if you don't have a vagina, then obviously you aren't a woman. When all the trappings of masculinity and femininity are social constructs. They have nothing to do with the junk between our legs. They have to do with the concepts we hold in our minds. And she doesn't like that. For her, it's all to do with the junk between your legs. And that proves everything else. Apparently, having a vagina makes you want dresses? Wear makeup? And again, she's probably not defending anyone that has a vagina that doesn't look like a certain way. It wouldn't shock me if she is against anyone expressing themselves as being a woman who doesn't look like a traditional feminine person. Because these social conservatives never do. But cancel culture is just about consequences. People are tired of your bull. They want you to go away. Now, for those out there who love the Harry Potter series, I have heard, now I don't know this on first person, but I've heard that the Animorph series is supposed to be very good and inclusive, and the author isn't a bigot. So maybe you should go check those out, and you can leave the Harry Potter universe behind. Because while that series may have made her a billionaire, it hasn't made her any more enlightened. It hasn't made her very progressive. It hasn't changed the fact that she's a socially conservative bigot. Now, one of the things I find fascinating is that she has 3 adult children. And I have heard not a peep out of them. And I completely understand why. Would you want to jeopardize a third of J.K. Rowling's inheritance on a public opinion about anything? No. But I will be intrigued to hear what they have to say after she's gone. I'm hoping I'm going to be around after she's gone. I don't know how much older or younger she is than me. Maybe I won't be. I'll be disappointed. Because I really want to hear what her kids have to say. Whether they, like all the young actors who portrayed the characters in her series in the films, have come out and said that, trans women are women. Because they understand that gender is a social construct. And how a person feels they are has nothing to do with the junk between their legs. Because they are apparently smarter and more sophisticated and more progressive than J.K. Rowling. So don't think for a second that this whole Harper's thing is anything but the socially conservative trying to justify their position of power and authority and wanting to be completely consequence-free. But that's not how freedom of speech works. You get to say what you want. I get to say what I want. And some of the things I'm going to say are that you are spouting bullshit. And no one should pay attention to you anymore. And if you don't like that, tough. There's a really simple process if you don't want the world to think of you as a bigot. You can just stop being a bigot.